Okay, here's a problem. You're in class, and for a class, you have a book report that's due in 20 days, and you're trying to decide whether a 400-page novel is something that you can do. Do you have the time to do it? I'm going to walk you through this to describe this concept of capacity. And this is a real problem that I was dealing with myself when I was in 8th grade. Do I have the time to do the novel that I think I want to do for a book report? So capacity. Normally, you see a lot about capacity as an object, and that is the maximum amount a container can hold. So you might think of units of cups, gallons, and liters. So a truck will have a certain capacity of fuel that it's holding. But then a car, passenger vehicle, it may not hold as much, so its capacity of fuel that it's carrying is a bit less. That is the capacity that you've probably seen and we all use all the time. But I'm going to talk about something a little bit different, and that is operating capacity. And that's the maximum output that can be completed within a unit of time. So basically that's like saying, how many pages can I read within 20 days? Because that tells me whether 400 pages is something I can do or whether I need to pick another book. So here we go. Imagine that I'm trying to figure out how to do this book report in 20 days and how this would work if I have a 400-page novel in order to do it. So the novel's 400 pages and there are 20 days to do it, so that means I would need to do 20 pages per day. That's the capacity that I would need to demonstrate in order to be able to finish according to the deadline. But then I also need to write the report. So I'm actually going to take maybe 4 days for that, because reports sometimes take time to write. So what if it's 400 pages done in 16 days? Well, that means I would need a higher level of capacity demonstrated. I would need to have 25 pages per day on average in order to be able to do this report. Otherwise, I probably should try to find a shorter novel. But there are a number of different things that might impact the capacity that I might get in a given day, and I just listed some of them here. I mean, one thing, it could be the print size. If the print size of the novel is very large, a lot of empty space, that would allow me to maybe read more pages per day than I'm expecting. Or it could be just if it's taking me more time, or I found the book challenging to read, or that could slow me down, or if I have a lot of great interest in a certain part of the story, I'm actually have more pages read on a daily basis. Then I might have other commitments that day, like on a particular day, that could get in the way of the time I can put in. It could be when I'm reading in a particular day, there's like background noise or some distraction. I might have let's say a pet that wants to play with me, or just someone I haven't seen, a friend, I want to talk to them. That would kind of get in the way of how much I could get done on a daily basis. Or even just being fatigued. I may want to read like up to 25 pages per day, but I might be tired because of other things going on. So the point is I just use operating capacity, output per time, 25 pages per day, to know what my goal is, and I'm using it to sort of pay attention to the things that could affect it. So again, I'm using this as a tool to figure out how to get to a goal that I want to get to. So what does this mean? So my target capacity, operating capacity, was 25 pages per day. That was, again, my goal. But in practice, sometimes it was less because of the conditions I mentioned before. And sometimes it was often more, because once I knew it was a target, I could reach for it. And I knew if I really need to get at least 25 per day in order to be able to meet my goal. So again, operating capacity was good for potential, setting a target, but also there was a real capacity of what I do on any given day. So the big difference between container and operating capacity, when you're dealing with capacity as a container, again, a cup, a gallon, a liter, I mean, really that's a maximum for what something can hold. Whereas operating capacity, the most important thing is that, I like that, it's a time measure. So it's not just output, it's output per time, how many pages per day. And also, the container that can be held, that maximum is usually fixed. You know, a gallon, it holds what it holds. Operating capacity can change based on conditions. So even very subtle changes in the conditions can greatly reduce or expand the amount of output that you could have in a day or in an hour or any unit of time. So that's operating capacity.